We're going to hear this afternoon from Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra. India's transformation has been significant over the last 6 years, with some really ambitious programs like Clean India Mission, smart cities, the effective use of technology, new urban policies, and self-reliant India for etc. for New India. For the special address, we're inviting the transformational leader and change agent, Mr. Durga Shankar Mishra, who is from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs with the Government of India. He is the secretary there. Mr. Mishra belongs to the 1984 batch of IAS from Uttar Pradesh, Satkhada. He's held various assignments in union and state governments, covering revenue administration, internal security, vigilance, civil aviation, tourism, sports, agriculture, taxation, medical and health, mining and urban development, an incredible portfolio of experience. He's also a distinguished fellow of the IOD. We're really honoured to have Mr. Mishra amongst us today. Over to you, sir, for your guest of honours keynote address.
Namaskar. Is my voice being clearly heard? Just raise your hand and confirm that.
Yes, it is.
Thanks a lot. Very good afternoon, Mr. Wilson, all the guests who are attending this webinar, and people who have joined from different parts of the country and from different parts of the world on this IOD virtual global session on the board leadership and risk management, along with felicitation of Golden Peacock Award winners, which is going to commence sometime during the evening. So at the outset, let me first congratulate all those. I was just hearing Agnihotri Saab about this Golden Peacock Award. So let me congratulate, my hearty congratulations to all those who are going to receive these awards this evening. And I'm sure you are worthy of the award, and you will make us proud by doing something more, much more than what you have done so far. If you have heard the Honorable Prime Minister's speech from the ramparts of Red Fort, that address to the nation on the 75th Independence Day, you must have seen him here speaking about the Vision India 2047. What is that India is going to be when we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the Indian independence? We are right now into the 75th year after India's independence. The whole year, the celebrations started from 12th of March from Ahmedabad, from the Sabarmati Ashram, and that is going to be there for 75 weeks. This is the 75th year of Indian independence. All that which has been done in the last 7 years, since this present government under the Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi has taken over in May 2014, that shows it lays a foundation of what is going to come up, and that is where you all need to be part of the Vision India 2047. Well, just mentioned, Mr. Karya mentioned about the Honorable Prime Minister mentioning from the ramparts about his announcement for PM Gati Shakti Bharat Master Plan for 110 crore Indian rupees, which is equivalent to $1.35 trillion. This is going to be a huge investment on the infrastructure, and that is going to make the country quite strong. Prior to that, some 2 years back, the Honorable Prime Minister announced in 2019 about the National Infrastructure Pipeline, and that National Infrastructure Pipeline was for 110 lakhs crores of Indian rupees, which is equivalent to 1.5 trillion US dollars. And out of that, over 16 lakhs crore, which is almost like about 12%, 13% of that, that is responsibility of my ministry, the ministry which I hold, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. That's equivalent to nearly $220 billion. And what we are doing with that $220 billion, we are working on building our urban transport infrastructure, metros in a big way. In 2014, we had metro operational for around 240 kilometers in just 5 cities in the country. And today, when I'm talking to you in 2021, we have 725 kilometers of metro operational in 18 cities in the country. But more than that, we have 1060 kilometers of metro under construction, which are going to be completed in next 5 years. And this also includes a regional rapid transport between Delhi to Meerut, the first regional rapid transport corridor in the national capital region. And the first sector of that, some 17 kilometers of that regional rapid transport is going to be made operational by December 2022. Because the year 2022 is so important, we are working fully to make it happen when we toward the end of the next year. And the whole nearly 90 kilometers from Delhi to Meerut, where stopping at 15 stations, one can cover this distance, which currently takes around 3.5 hours by road, in less than 1 hour, just 55 minutes. So that is the speed, that is the way our infrastructure is going on. In fact, while taking this journey of this metro development, we have also focused on Atmanirbhar Bharat. In these last 7 years, we have got the new companies, either the multinational companies which have been set up in India and they are supplying our various things related to the metro, or the Indian companies in collaboration with some foreign companies, they have worked together and they have developed a capacity. So in the last 4 years, we have purchased more than 1,000 metro trains, and all those trains have come from those who are manufacturing within India. And it is not only this, we are building up our capacity like National Common Mobility Card, through which just use your debit or credit card, and across the country and all metro and all kinds of the urban transport modes, one can travel just using his debit card or credit card. We have developed our own standard, National Common Mobility Card standard, which was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister in March 2019 at Ahmedabad, while he was inaugurating the first sector of Ahmedabad, the Gujarat Metro in Ahmedabad. We have also developed our own automatic fare collection gates. I mean, that's going to be used across in various kinds of sectors where the collection of money and is the whole thing. I mean, this IT makes things possible. We have run our first driverless train on line 7 in the last December. It was done by the Honorable Prime Minister, and the next one, line 8, is going to come up in September 2021, only the next month. And then we are going to be the largest metro network in the world, having the driverless metro train. We are developing indigenous automatic train supervision system. So there are a lot of things, our own system for platform doors. So various kinds of things, the country is working on developing its own capacity, so that the development in the metro sector, it becomes our Atmanirbhar, it becomes our self-reliant. We have gone beyond the metro. We have also developed Metro Light and the Metro New. The Metro New is basically a retired metro, and Metro Light is a light metro, and the water metro in the city of Kochi, and they are going to come up with much lesser cost and improving the mobility in the city. And when you improve the mobility, we are also going to address the issues of the air pollution. And why I started saying so, because this is directly connected with the kind of the national infrastructure pipeline. We are investing in a big way in our urban development infrastructure. In the last 6 years, since the series of missions, urban flagship missions, for example, Swachh Bharat Mission, which is a Clean India mission, Atal Mission for Urban Rejuvenation and Transformation, which is a mission for transforming the urban infrastructure in 500 cities whose population is more than 100,000. The Housing for All, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, this Housing for All mission, this is the highest, largest number of the housing infrastructure being created in the country. So then a smart city mission to make our future urbanization into a smarter, I mean, take the smarter route. All these kind of infrastructure projects which have been taken up in the last many years, and they form part of the national infrastructure pipeline. And now with this PM Gati Shakti Bharat Master Plan, which is going to integrate the whole country into some kind of a major infrastructure growth, this is going to give further fillip into our whole development. In fact, when I talk about briefly, I'll mention about some of the missions which my ministry is carrying forward. One of the first missions is the Swachh Bharat mission, where when we started in 2014, I mean when the mission was launched in October 2014, we did not have any city across the country. When I talk of the cities, the number of cities across the country is 4,400. No city was open defecation free, and now we have got 100% cities are open defecation free. We have got almost 3/4 of them on the open defecation free ODF plus, and now we also have got the water plus cities, like various level of standards. On the municipal solid waste, we were just treating around 14% of the waste in 2014. Today, we have got 97% of wards having the door-to-door collection. We have got more than 70% wards where the segregation is at source, so that we are able to get the wealth out of the waste, and then 68% of the waste being treated. Though we have to travel a further some distance so that we come to the 100%, and that's going to take maybe a couple of years, but we are towards making our city absolutely clean. And the beauty of the whole program is, this is not a government program, this is being run as a people's movement. More than, I mean, when we have the Swachh Sarvekhan, the Swachh Sarvekhan is the largest survey of the people across the globe. For almost like 45 crore, 450 million people survey is being done, and something like 150 million people are participating directly in some mode, through the digital mode, through the email, or through the direct interaction. While we are doing this survey, this is happening across the country, and we do the survey every year. We have got our toilets on the Google Map. I mean, more than 65,000 toilets on the Google Map. Any city you go, just with the Google Map, you can reach to the nearest toilet. So this is what we are doing in the Swachh Bharat mission. Under the Atal Mission for Urban Rejuvenation and Transformation, in the last 6 years, we have given connection to nearly 1.1 crore families. Water connection is given 1.1 crore family. That is like 11 million new connections have been given. Nearly 99 million sewage connections have been given. On the housing front, the target, I mean, it just looks mind-boggling when we, Honorable Prime Minister launched the Housing for All mission in 2015 June. At that time, the initial assessment was we had to construct 10 million houses. It just looked impossible. A program like this has never been done in any place across the globe. But I'm very happy to share with you, when ultimately the total assessed demand was 11.2 million. Against that, we have already sanctioned 11.3 million. We have already grounded more than 8.5 million houses and completed and delivered more than 5 million houses to the beneficiaries. When I say houses means it is not simply four walls. A house which gives wing to the families to realize their potential, to realize their aspirations, to realize their dreams. And this is done through making every house getting water connection, electricity connection, gas connection, and having a toilet. I mean, there is a full package. That is how we consider a house being completed. We had launched an affordable rental housing complexes when the whole world was fighting through the challenges of the COVID-19. India came up with the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, and under the Atmanirbhar Bharat campaign, we launched one of the scheme called affordable rental housing complexes. Just yesterday, I sanctioned 6 lakhs. So no, 60,000 new rental housing just yesterday, and that has come from the private as well as the public sector. We have already made something like 4,000 houses are already being put on the housing, rental housing and affordable rental housing, and some 7,000 are under different stages. So this makes, these are the housing close to the universities, close to the working place, close to the places where the people come, so that the people who are migrating from the rural area to the urban area, they get rented houses at affordable rate, and they are able to contribute their best so that they, I mean, it also protects their health. They are not exposed to moving long distances, exposed to the various other kinds of the natural vagaries, so they can do their best to the economy. In fact, in the address to the nation yesterday, day for yesterday, on the 15th August, Honorable Prime Minister's one of the major focus was on developing India as an inclusive India, where we are able to make sure that there is no divide between the rural and urban. We are able to provide all kind of infrastructure facilities in even the rural area. There is we provide all kinds of facility to the poor in the urban area. So we are taking care of everybody so that everybody gets integrated to the economy. So that has been our development. In when I talk about the smart city mission, a smart city mission was launched in June 2015, and for the first time, it's a completely change in the paradigm, the developmental paradigm. From 2015 onwards, we've selected 100 cities through a national challenge method, and cities of all sizes, small size, big sizes, they've been selected, and they've been selected to realize their aspirations, realize their dreams, and they are like lighthouses for us. They are like lighthouses. We learn from these smart cities, and we are going to expand that to the all other cities across the country. That's our learning from the missions, making it a movement across the country, so that the India, which is urbanizing very fast, whose total urban population is projected to be nearly 880 million by 2051. That is, we are going to add the same number what we have today. This development takes a smarter path. In recently, we are also working on the global construction technology. The global construction technology. This was, I mean, this has been identified through a global challenge held in March 2019. We have selected 6 different technologies where these constructions are taking place currently in Chennai, which is in the southern India, in Rajkot, which is in the western India, in Indore, which is the central India, in Lucknow, which is northern India, in Ranchi, which is the eastern India, and Agartala, which is the northeastern India. So all 6 regions, we have selected 1 city each. That again through the challenge process, and the construction is taking place. More than 1,000 houses are coming up in just 8 to 10 months. We are mastering such construction technology because that is what is, I mean, the technologies which are resource efficient, which are climate resilient, which are disaster resistant. I mean, such technology which uses such things where the usage of water is reduced, usage of earth is reduced. We cut down on the cost, we cut down on the time in the whole construction period, and that is how we can construct the future of the urban India. So this is, I mean, just to give you a glimpse of what is happening in my ministry under this, and this is happening across the country in different kinds of ministry. Whether it is you take the port sector, you take the air sector, whether you take the railways, you take the urban transport, you take the IT. Mr. Karia was speaking about our learning from the COVID-19. During the COVID-19, we have come out with plenty of programs and the missions and various kinds of things where the country as a team India is working on towards making the Prime Minister's vision of India at 2047 realized. So this is, we are also while we are doing this, we are trying to benchmark. I mean, we are trying to benchmark things. We are trying to index things. For example, for the first time, we had ease of living index. All these things are available in our website. Ease of living index, where we got all our smart cities, and now we are getting not only smart cities, even cities whose population is more than 500,000 are being ranked on the ease of living index. They are being ranked on the climate smart city index. They are being ranked as the municipal performance index. They are being ranked for various things, and also the city innovation exchange, so that we promote innovation. We promote the new initiatives. We get the best from the world and try to make it a part of India, so that we become, I mean, ultimately we have to become, make this local to the global. In fact, our SHG, self-help group members, who are in the large number manufacturing various kinds of art and artifacts and various kind of the textile items, food items, and that is through the global e-commerce portal is being exported to the different part of the world. I mean, we are integrated to the rest part of the world. So what I would like to say, there is a huge focus on the infrastructure development across the country. India is becoming a place where the investment is possible. India is focusing on the ease of living. India is focusing on the ease of doing business. Our rank in the ease of doing business in the World Bank ranking, I mean, it used to be 142 not far back, just 5 years back, and it has gone up to 63. That is the rise of nearly 79 ranks. In my own ministry, in the ease of doing business, construction permits, our rank in the world standard of World Bank in 1986, in 2016, it was 186, and now our rank is 27. That means we have gone up by 159 places. That is the focus given to the ease of doing business. And when we are doing this, we are not doing it only for corporate cities, but we are doing it across the country. Large number of cities are adopting this kind of practices, which makes doing business much simpler and much better, so that people in the country and outside the country, those who can come and invest in the country, they get an opportunity to invest here, do business, and from here we can also serve to the rest of the world. So our focus is on the infrastructure development, and this is what I wanted to share with you. I wish all the very best to all the awardees who are going to receive the Golden Peacock Award this evening, and I hope you are all part of this Team India who are going to make the vision of India 2047 realize. And the major part starts right now, because this 1 year, the year of the 75 weeks, year of 75th year of Indian independence, this kind of event come there for us to challenge and to give our best to the nation. I wish everybody all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Mishra. I think I understand that you've got another appointment, and therefore we can't really sort of spend much time sort of asking you questions and so on. But I really just want to flag one of the things that I find so impressive about the presentations from the IOD guest speakers is, as you use the phrase, the mind-boggling scale with which India approaches many of its issues. The development of its infrastructure is an incredible opportunity, not only for India, but for the rest of the world to learn those lessons. And the IOD and the ACCA will be able to help facilitate that kind of process, because there is so much that we can gain from learning from your experience. So thank you very much indeed for your presentation. Very interesting and very challenging to all of us. Thank you.